Alright, so the fragile jump isn't available as I start pushing back to Lake Knot City. Welcome back to the follow-on episode from episode 46, 47. We are now in episode 48, and we are going to push our way all the way back to Lake Knot City in the middle region.
One of a kind.
A baby candidate.
Either that or
A sacrifice.
a foundation. A bridge.
Alright, so I'm back on the beach. And we are going to go ahead and snag this vehicle over here. That'll at least get me across this area.
Sam, it's Hartman. Be advised that chiral density in regions predisposed to strandings has increased dramatically. No doubt the beach is to blame. BTs drawn into our world under these circumstances may be affected in unpredictable ways.
It's the rest station that I tried to build, but probably won't finish. Because now there's another rest station. I had built that rest area in order to try out the idea that fragile would get me across the tar band, I think they're calling it. But it ended up I just had to get caught by the BTs in order to kind of get across the tar belt. Wow, like totally lost traction there. So I think what I've found most intriguing about this game is what you can learn over the time, you know, within the time. I don't know if that was up there. I've learned that traversing through just a normal area, you know, over the different types of terrain require you to plan ahead, watch stamina. For Sam, having the network connected together really helps with how, kind of helps to see how other people are playing, and that leads you to become more aware of what others are thinking and how they're playing. So while my choices for placing specific structures help me, watching other players, I guess this is one way to go. Seeing how other players, you know, lay out their structures kind of leads me to solve some of the puzzles and the systems that are in place to slow me down. But I think the network, I'm getting myself like stuck here. All right, I'll just continue on here. Yeah, it's a really squirrely vehicle, especially when you're in high speed mode. I mean, but I found over time that just traversing normally on foot is enjoyable. You have vehicles, you have bikes, you have the zip lines, and I became extremely addicted to zip lines and trying to make a network of zip lines. Is that a vehicle up there? Looks like a vehicle.
Shit, BT. Can't pin this on eggs. What the hell's going on?
Wow, that one just came up. Normally they, normally they only come up whenever I get captured by the other BTs. So can I still escape the BT? Didn't want to jump off the edge of that building. There might be a time, and there will be a time, and I'm not 100% sure about the end game and what it will offer me. I'm not sure if there even is an end game. It may just end and then that's it, and it won't let me back into the world to kind of finish off some of the other things that I was working on. But one thing I am looking forward to, if there is an end game to mess around in, is actually going and fighting all these monsters, these BT bosses. Because while I've kind of learned to evade fairly well, I mean, as long as you just kind of keep your movement moving forward, it's not too difficult to get away from these guys. The tar slows you down, and especially when there's two of them, that definitely contributes to the effectiveness of your evasion. And they've got this weird laser beam. So it always looks up in the sky, I guess. I'm not quite sure why. So I probably see myself getting surrounded by these very, very frequently, or these tar pools. But as I was saying, what I've learned is the definite requirement, the essential requirement for the player to prepare, and while using other players that are online that have left behind, their stamp on the world, it teaches you extremely valuable skills. So if you don't use the zip lines, then you won't be effective with the zip lines. If you don't traverse on foot, then you won't be effective at that. If you don't use vehicles, you won't be effective at that. So the amount of versatility and the amount of options that a player has to get through the game is varied. I haven't even scratched the surface of combat. I guess scratching the surface, maybe I haven't gotten down to some of the deeper layers of combat. I've only engaged in combat when it was required, especially when fighting the veteran. So what I've learned is preparation is key, rest is key. There are a ton of resources available to me, and I just need to be aware of them. Like right now, I'm just kind of pushing on, but I should probably have gone to a rest station, or at the rest station that I started at, get myself a all-terrain skeleton that will allow me to kind of progress through this a little bit faster. Kind of see what's inside. I don't know if I can look inside of a shared locker. Donate weapons and equipment. And even as I say, I've learned these skills of, preparing myself. I still find myself not preparing as well as I could, and the ease at which my travel will be in my second playthrough of the game will definitely benefit from the learning that comes from the first game, and that goes with anything. But I think I might understand, I do understand how IGN got to a 6.8. They just kind of pushed through the game in like some of the areas that I have. I just stayed on the critical path, and it doesn't seem like they did much else other than pushing through the critical path. And that might have gotten them to a point of frustration, and I know I've been frustrated in different parts of the game. And that's just because, I'm pushing Sam to a point of exhaustion. I don't plan as well on every order that comes across my way. And if I just look at the game as a point A to point B and I don't enjoy, a point A to point echo sort of mentality of knowing that B, C, and D are things that I'm going to learn and experience and be exposed to, I think that's something that was missed in some of the sort of dismissive reviews that have been provided for this game.
Beginning scan.
Alright, I'm going to...
Verifying ID. Clear. All weapons will remain locked until departure. All clear.
I don't know if maybe there was a... you jump into these little buildings here and maybe there was a book or a little bit of information left behind that I could pick up.
Someone's happy.
Keep on keeping on.
Alright, so is there anything I'm carrying with me that I need to recycle? Oh, definitely let's recycle some of the chiral crystals.
Thank you for your continued support.
See if there's anything that I could probably go back to the geologist. Take that one. The weather station. Yeah, I'll probably go down and to my right because my overall destination is back over here at Lake Knot City. So I'll definitely pick up something for the weather station. And anything else out? Nothing else is out there. Alright, so let's set those. I want to get a all-terrain skeleton. It's a speed skeleton. We'll see. Let's bring one of these with me. And then I'll get a speed skeleton. Well, first let's do the all-terrain. Let's see where I'm at here. I'm not going to have too far to go, but let's go all-terrain level 2. Let's make sure I've got a decent pair of boots. I like the bola gun, so if I get up to a couple mules, that'll help me there. And then I'll just cut BT cords. Don't need vehicles right now. I think that'll be enough. Alright, so we're going to offload that. Chemical samples are going to load onto the carrier. Boots are going to go on the boot clip. Altering skeleton, I'm going to equip that. Bola gun, I'm going to hang on the tool rack. And that'll be good to go. Alright, so I'm going over to the biologist first. And his area is up in the mountains in the snow.
Thank you for everything.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Keep on keeping on.
Things I haven't done well. I haven't done blood bags well. And those are the things that you can kind of have attached in your utility pouch, and if they're equipped, then if you run out of blood, they'll automatically refill you. And then the sort of the heat, there's like a heat capsule that I can use that will give me the ability to be more effective. That'll help me be more effective with when I drink energy drinks in the cold. It'll give me more of my bars back. Alright, so I think I'm going in the wrong direction here. Not too much in the wrong direction, but I'm going a different way. So let's go here. Let's go up there. Back up this way. Then there's a zip line. It'd be longer to go to this zip line. Well, actually, if I take an immediate left right now, I could probably utilize that zip line. Let's see, I could probably go. Let's go ahead and remove all of these. So if I place the zip line right about here, go straight down. Maybe put a zip line right there. Alright.
Sam, do you copy? I've been looking into Clifford Unger and wanted to share my thoughts. To recap, Unger was a U.S. Special Forces operative whose retirement roughly coincided with the Death Stranding. After he left the service, he somehow became involved in the early BB experiments. However, he died before they ended. Now, while the circumstances surrounding his death are not entirely clear, I'm beginning to suspect that these battlefields of his are at least partially sustained by his enduring emotional attachments. Anger, resentment, regret. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the BB experiments. That much seems clear given his repeated attempts to steal Lou. Cliff seems to be driven by a compulsion to reclaim our BB, as if that will make him whole again. A compulsion so powerful that he was not only able to drag himself from the depths of hell, but bring a piece of that hell along with him. One thing's for sure, he's nothing like a BT. We need to know the whole story about his death and his connection to the BB experiments. I'll keep digging and let you know what I find, Sam.
Probably get quite a few of those throughout my trek back. Yeah, just the amount of stamina that I don't lose when I'm climbing up these mountains, just because I have this all-terrain skeleton on. If I know I'm going across snow now, I know that I have to bring the skeleton with me. It makes the most sense. Alright, so there should be a zip line over to my right and my left. So if I get up here on the hill, I should be able to see them. You kind of see I'm going up this extremely steep incline, and that's made possible by the all-terrain skeleton that I'm wearing. Alright, a couple BTs around here. Not too concerned about BTs. Alright, let's see if I can put... Alright, so I do have a one there and one there. Alright, I did not bring a... well, it doesn't really matter. If I didn't bring PCCs with me, then I can't do this zip line. But I believe that zip line and that zip line are close enough to each other. So they should be roughly 300 meters apart. If they're not, then it's my own fault for not bringing a PCC with me. Alright, so let's get down here and we'll just walk right up to this BT and sever his cord. Other things that I don't have are... Oh, what is that? I've never seen one of those before. Alright, so I couldn't break the umbilical cord of whatever that thing was. Let's try to get out of this thing. Come on, move on, move on. Let's get up to this zip line. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what kind of monster that was, but definitely wasn't like the normal BTs. So I'm encountering some different types of enemies. Alright, so cargo container is ruined, so I need to get this stuff over to the biologist. Let's get close to this before we switch over. Alright, let's go.
There we go.
Let's open cargo menu. Carry those in the back. Carry that on back. Confirm. And let's move over to the zip line. Another thing to learn is the things that you place down in a specific moment in time may not help you right away, but it'll help you in the future. Especially the zip lines, the roads, contributing materials to build those roads.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. Delivering cargo.
Sam Bridges, good to see you. Such a generous delivery. I suppose I ought to give you credit.
Alright, so this should put me into 3 stars with this guy. Alright, increase the bandwidth, Mars red, Mars red. So faceplate colors for the mask. Almost have 4 stars. Bridge link +1. 62 on the bridge link.
Tell me, do you have any use for this? If so, it's yours.
Ceramics high density. Alright, so the rest of these chemical samples are all going to the weather station. So I need to go off to the right and repair these.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
What type of orders do you have? Biologist. Alright, I'm going to the weather station. It's going to add 62 kilograms. Alright. I don't think I'm going to do any PCCs. I will take a container repair spray though. I'm going to make one of those thermal pads. Of course, I think I'm going to be out of the thermal area here pretty soon. I've got everything else that I want. Alright, let's carry that on my back. I think maybe I should switch from all terrain to a power. Let's look at my cargo real quick. 152 of 225, so I should be alright. Alright, so I think I'll use zip lines. Probably use the zip line network that's already been established. That's the Hartman, so I'll push over this way. We'll go down to this one and then push further down here. And then maybe hook up to this zipline network. Yeah, let's go down there. Let's take the zip lines, and then from the zip line, I'll go down this way, and down through here, down through all this mountain area, probably traverse over this way, this way. That'll be enough for now.
That's the one.
Let's go over and repair these real quick.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Alright, thank you very much.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges. Weapons restrictions lifted.
Yeah, I'm not going to need to be in the snow for very much longer. And there we go. All-terrain skeleton is helping out a ton with going downhill. I can control my descent much easier. It's like going down Mount Fuji. Cargo for delivery damaged by high temperature. Alright, let's take a quick look at this. So orders. Taking this stuff, soil samples. Alright, delivered to mountainous area. This difficult chill delivery. High atmospheric temperatures and thermal pads will damage this cargo. Okay. Chill delivery. Cargo will slowly deteriorate in warm areas. To keep such cargo in good condition, try to remain in sheltered areas and avoid direct sunlight. Exposing the cargo to rain and snow helps to keep it cool. Okay. Well, that's another part of like things that I'm learning that I should have learned a long time ago. So I'm damaging this cargo. So if I go into the cargo menu and I look at my cargo here, chemical samples are slowly starting to get damaged, and they're already at 16, 17%, and I've only just gotten into some of the warmer areas. So I imagine putting them in a vehicle would probably be the way to go, but I don't see a area that I can get to in time, so I'm gonna have to skirt along this area and stay in the snow.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
on, get back up in the snow. I was all excited about going downhill. Forgot about some of the cargo that I'm carrying requires me to stay in cold temperatures, so I'll just skirt along the snow.
That's good.
So high temperatures damage the materials. Timefall and snow damage the containers.
Walked up worse.
Alright, so let's make myself a pathway here. So I'm going to get rid of all my other waypoints. We will just follow along this line. Probably delete that one. Go straight across and over to this zip line. You know, simple things like that. While I haven't perfected the application of what I have learned from failure. It is things like that that you really have to pay attention to make the overall rating that you get for these deliveries that much better.
Nobody out here. Unless damn.
Alright, so I'm going to have to go up a little bit to stay in the snow. And then also collecting things as you go. One thing I've mentioned about the end game, and I hope there is one, and what I mean by an end game is once the critical path is over, they let Sam continue to connect people by continuing to deliver things. This is kind of a... I've got my all-terrain, so I should be able to get over these rocks fairly easily. And what I mean by that is once the critical path is over, they let Sam go on about his business and continue to deliver things, and I can start messing around with other systems. A little bit of rest, a little bit of a drink. I don't get a lot because I think I'm in the cold. Up here to the left to stay in the cold. Do a quick rest. I think if I just walk slowly. Yeah, I've been pushing my analog stick full up. But if I don't press the analog quite as much, I'll maintain my kind of forward momentum, but I won't lose that. I don't know if I'm losing my breath is pretty much what I'm losing. It's the same thing as if I hold the R1 button and I hold my hand over my mouth. You can see how my oxygen goes down. I do have oxygen mask capability, so if I feel like I'm going to be ascending a lot, then I could bring an oxygen mask and that would give me some much needed extra oxygen. So I've tried vehicles on snow, at least the four-wheel drive truck. And that does okay over dry land, but it does lose some of its traction when you're going over snow, which I guess most vehicles do. And earlier at the beginning of this episode, you kind of see how the truck was really squirming around the terrain, and the grip was completely lost. And it looked like a couple of glitched movements, but it only seemed to happen whenever I click in the left analog stick, so L3 to boost. That's the same thing, boosting and running is L3. And I would kind of start to lose control of the vehicle. Alright, let's charge my battery. Sort of an automatic light there every time I use something or benefit from something.
Just you, your son, and me.
Alright, we'll stay on the rocky path, climb up and over this small rock cluster. Thanks to the all-terrain skeleton I've got. You can definitely see the weather station coming up. And there's my zip line, which will take me faster over to the weather station.
Restrictions lifted.
Majority of what I'm carrying here is getting dropped off here.
ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you.
242 and 354.
Delivering cargo.
I appreciate you going out of your way for us, Sam. I really can't believe you brought this much. How did you manage to carry it all?
Should get me to level 3 here. Three stars and level 2 floating carrier. Up to 25,300. Deliver this other one. I don't think it's going to get me to 4 stars. Almost 4 stars. Delivery volume plus 2, that'll get me to 204. 205. Thank you. Wow, a lot of resources. Alright, and I'll carry it on my back. And that'll be an okay.
Well, good luck to you, and take care of yourself.
Thank you, Weatherman.
Good
Alright,
work.
so let's go ahead and recycle this stuff. I'll need to carry it with me everywhere. And we'll do special alloys, ceramics, and metals. Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to go over an excess. So what do I need to do here? So metals. So I guess I'll carry that with me and deposit it somewhere else. See if I've got some orders that can go into the other stations.
Thank you for your continued support.
Alright, let's take on some orders. I'm not going that direction. Way station? No. Could take those. Can go there. Yeah, I guess I could take those too. Don't know why it's not letting me accept it. There's a bunch of stuff here, so I need to bring 2 carriers and probably walk most of the distance. Let's see what else I've got here. That's pretty much it. Alright, let's accept those orders. Let's definitely make let's make 2 of these. And PCC, I think I'm gonna lay down, probably gonna lay down at least 2 more zip lines. Let's do power skeleton now. Let's do power skeleton. And that should be sufficient. Alright, so let's offload that one, offload the other one. Let's put all those on here. Put all this on there. And let's see, private locker, do I have anything in here? I have a bunch of floating carriers in here that I didn't need to actually. Let's take metals and put them on that carrier. Put the other floating carrier and put it on that carrier. Keep those things, everything else is good. All-terrain skeleton, still doing good. Bridges, boots, got those. Alright. Okay, I'm going through there. I might cross some water, but yeah, I should be okay. Maybe I'll make some. Nope, I think we're good. Nope, hold on. Let's bring a couple of the ladders. I think I had a couple ladders in here. Yeah, let's bring one of those and then carry that one on my back. And then the one I've got in the tool rack, let's go ahead and carry that on my back. Private locker. Carry those in the back. I just want to make sure I don't leave any like materials behind. Alright, all-terrain skeleton. Yeah, I think that'll be good. All right, now let's head out. I should make it all the way to Lake Knot City in this episode. I've got another half hour to go in this episode.
For your contribution.
Let's connect here. That should be... I'm gonna get both of them. There we go. Oh, thank you. The way you said that did not sound very convincing at all. Alright, I see plenty of bridges to use. That would get me over that bridge, and then one more bridge. I've got a, if it starts to rain, I've got a time fall shelter there. I like how you can pick up an item and then just go over to your carriers, let go of the button that you're carrying it in, so left or right for left or right or hands, and then drop it on the carrier. I think I did bring one PCC with me. Let's see if I can place one right here. I don't have the PCC there. Let's open the cargo menu. Let's put this PCC on the suit, which I can put down over here. And then the other PCC, I can attach the suit, put it on my other hip there. Alright, and then that should do. I'm going to open up my menu, open up this PCC. That one's 299, so that's actually a perfect spot to put it in. And we can move on. Yeah, zip lines are my preferred method of travel, especially to cover long distances quickly. Here, go over to this time fall shelter. Pick up those. Thank you very much, Time Fall Shelter. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the map here. Make sure I get to my distribution center. Alright. Don't see... I know that some people had even asked for like a filter option. So that you could only filter out, you want to see only the ladders or you want to see only the zip lines. I think that would be a good option. I think it would be a pretty simple update to the game as well. Alright, so I do see another timefall shelter there. Let's kind of see where the rain's going to be going. Alright, so that one right there would probably be a pretty good marker to go to. Let's clear all my markers. Place a marker there. And then should be a bridge over here, right? And there for B, and there for C.
Sam, you're not going to believe what I found. It's about the BP experiments, their true purpose. According to official records, they were continued in secret on the order of President Strand, supposedly with the primary objective of developing BT detectors and preventing void-outs. Any advancements that could be applied to the fields of chiral communications and beach research were meant to be of purely secondary benefit. But it turns out, that's just a cover story. The truth is, Sam, BBs were originally conceived as catalysts for the operation of the chiral network. They're integrated into the infrastructure of Knot cities for that very reason. Every single one you've brought into the fold. It was probably Amelie herself who installed them as she moved west with the first expedition, carrying out her mother's grand plan, making sacrifice after sacrifice on the altar of progress. President Strand told the people what they wanted to hear and did what she thought had to be done. Also, America could be whole again. And I'm starting to wonder if it didn't cost her her soul. The chiral network is our greatest creation, our proudest achievement, and our guiltiest sin. I don't know how to feel about it all. Maybe if we knew more about Cliff and the BB experiments, we'd be better placed to judge. I'll be in touch.
There was a moment, I think, in episode 46 that I might have said this could be the last episode, but now I'm working on episode 48.
Okay.
Nothing here. We'll pick up alloys and materials. Some metals there.
This is the way to go.
Let's hit up this timefall shelter real quick.
Nice.
It's pretty quick.